the sign that will change Scorpio's destiny in 2026, Scorpio. You need to hear this now, because what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes will explain that strange feeling you've been carrying for months, that restlessness, that emptiness nothing fills, that certainty that something huge is about to happen, someone is coming your way. And this time it's not someone you'll control, not someone you'll manipulate, not someone you'll dominate. It's someone who will make you lose control for the first time in your life. And no, it's not who you're thinking. It's not that person you desire. It's not the sign everyone says is compatible with you. It's nothing predictable. It's the sign the universe chose to dismantle every defense you've built, to tear down every wall you've erected, to rip off every mask you wear. Did you think 2026 would be another year of power, of control, of intensity under your own rules? Forget all that. 2026 doesn't want your control. 2026 wants your surrender. And this sign that's about to enter your life will ensure you finally let go of the reins and allow destiny to do what it needs to do. Stay with me until the end, because what's coming isn't just about an encounter. It's about a transformation so deep you'll look in the mirror and no longer recognize who you were. And before you think about leaving, thinking you already know everything. No, that Scorpio always thinks they know. But this time the universe kept a secret even your intuition didn't catch. That feeling that something is different. That weight in your chest appearing from nowhere. Those intense dreams waking you in the middle of the night. It's not anxiety. It's not fear. It's the universe preparing you for the impact. I am the voice that translates the whispers of the stars. And today, Scorpio, you'll discover who is truly destined to turn your world upside down in 2026. If you're a Scorpio or love someone of this sign, this isn't optional. It's a revelation that will change everything. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave your like now, because the next videos will complete this cosmic puzzle that begins today. And you won't want to miss a single piece. Take a deep breath, Scorpio, because now the universe will reveal what you both feared and desired at the same time. 2026 arrives for Scorpio like a giant wave. You who always controlled the emotional waters of everyone around you will discover what it's like to be dragged by the current. You'll feel changes that challenge your very nature. Plot twists that will remove you from that position of always being in control. Situations that will force you to trust, and you hate trusting. Unexpected tests that will challenge your vulnerability. Alliances emerging from places you never imagined. And revelations. Revelations that will shake your own absolute certainties. And it's precisely when you think you dominate the situation that this sign appears. Like a force of nature you can't predict. Like an energy you can't control. This sign doesn't play your game, Scorpio. They have their own game. And it's as intense as yours, maybe even more. On the surface, you're incompatible. Everyone would say it makes no sense, that it's impossible, that it will go wrong. But your soul already knew this encounter was inevitable. And when the soul knows, Scorpio, it doesn't matter how much your mind resists. It doesn't matter how much you try to escape. It doesn't matter how many layers of protection you create. The universe placed this encounter in your timeline for a very specific reason. A reason that will become clear as we move forward. But before revealing who it is, you need to understand what's happening in the invisible backstage of your destiny. Because this time, Scorpio, you're not in control. And that scares you more than anything else. Before the sign appears, 3 cosmic movements begin to manifest in Scorpio's life in 2026. The ancients called these the doors of destiny. And each one opens with a force that even you, Scorpio, can't resist. These doors don't ask permission. They don't wait for you to be prepared. They simply open when the universe decides it's time for you to evolve to the next level. And Scorpio, your time has arrived. The first door has already started to open. You might not have consciously noticed, but your soul already feels it. And when Scorpio feels something, it's always real. Come with me and I'll reveal each of these doors. The first door that opens in 2026 is the most challenging for you. It's the door of vulnerability. This door touches what you protect most, your true emotions, your core, your essence without filters. In 2026, Scorpio, you'll be forced to lower your defenses, those impenetrable walls you built over years. they'll start to crack. That mask of strength and control you wear for the world, it will slip. And you'll see yourself emotionally naked for the first time in a long time. People you always controlled will start to see through you. That power you had over situations, it will begin to diminish. And in its place, something new begins to emerge. Something you always avoided. Real emotional authenticity. True connection, vulnerability without fear. This door brings forth relationships that demand your naked truth. Situations where you can't manipulate the outcome. Moments where you need to simply feel without controlling. And at the center of this transformation is the decisive arrival. The arrival of that sign that doesn't accept your masks, that doesn't fall for your games, that forces you to be real. They don't come like all the others. They come as a mirror that reflects your soul, not your armor. The second door is even more intense. It's the door of detachment. This door is brutal for Scorpio because you don't let go, you don't forget. You don't release. You hold, control, maintain, keep. You transform everything into power through your ability to never forget and never fully forgive. But in 2026, this door forces you to do what you fear most, let go. Let go of people you thought were essential. Let go of situations you thought defined who you are. Let go of control over things you can no longer dominate. Your destiny in 2026 demands release, demands that you trust the process, demands that you allow things to flow without your constant interference. And know who will teach you this? The sign that's coming. They are the catalyst. They are the force that pushes you out of the obsessive need to control everything and everyone. With them, you learn there's power in surrender, strength in vulnerability, control in detachment. Without them, you'd remain trapped in the same destructive patterns. With them, you finally evolve. Now comes the third door, the most powerful of all, the one that changes everything forever. It's the door of true rebirth. Scorpio, you've been reborn several times in life. You know, transformation. You are the very symbol of death and rebirth. But in 2026, you'll experience a rebirth different from all others you've lived. It's not a rebirth you chose. It's not a transformation you planned. It's not a symbolic death you controlled. It's a rebirth imposed by destiny. A transformation that happens despite you. A death of ego you cannot avoid. This door brings signs you can't ignore, no matter how much you try. Absurd coincidences that repeat. Prophetic dreams showing you the future. Premonitions so strong they paralyze you. Numbers appearing constantly. Always the same ones. Always when you're thinking about that specific subject. Sensations of having lived this in another life. Of reliving something left incomplete. Of closing a cycle that began long ago. And encounters. Encounters that seem written centuries ago. That seem inevitable. That seem destined. This door announces the approach of that sign. And when it opens completely, you understand a profound truth. You're not in control of your destiny. You never were. You just thought you were. And now, for the first time in your life, you'll have to trust something bigger than you. Bigger than your power. Bigger than your intensity. You'll have to trust the universe. The three doors are open now, Scorpio. The door of vulnerability. The door of detachment. The door of true rebirth. And they won't close until you cross through all of them, until you face your greatest fears, until you release what's tying you to the past, until you accept the transformation destiny prepared. Because on the other side of these doors is the sign that will turn your world upside down, and they're not coming to play small. They're coming to change everything. Now pay attention, Scorpio, because what I'm about to reveal here might be happening to you right now, at this very moment. The sign that will change your destiny doesn't appear without warning. And you, more than any other sign, should know this. You who live in the realm of the invisible. You who feel everything before it happens. But this time is different. This time the signs are so subtle that even your powerful intuition almost doesn't notice. Before this sign physically enters your life, they send waves of energy. Signs that most ignore, but that you, Scorpio, are feeling deep in your soul. And these signs follow three very specific phases. Three waves that become increasingly intense until you can no longer deny the truth. Let me show you each one, and pay attention. Because if you recognize these signs, It means they're closer than you imagine. The first phase is something you know well, but this time it comes with a different intensity. It's the deep restlessness. You wake up in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, always 3 in the morning, with a feeling of emptiness in your chest that makes no sense. It's not sadness. It's not fear. It's something deeper. It's as if a part of you is screaming that something is missing, that someone is missing. You become more restless than normal. And for Scorpio, who is already naturally restless, that's saying a lot. Your emotions become more intense. You feel everything amplified. Anger burns more. Passion consumes more. Loneliness hurts more. And you don't understand why. Nothing concrete happened. Nothing changed externally. But internally, everything is different. Scorpio, this isn't emotional. This is spiritual. It's the energy of this sign beginning to touch your frequency. It's as if their soul is already conversing with your soul across dimensions. Even though you haven't met in this physical reality yet, this restlessness doesn't pass. It only increases. It grows like a wave that doesn't stop rising until you enter the second phase. The second phase is the obsessive call, suddenly. You start seeing this sign everywhere. And no, it's not coincidence. The universe never works with coincidences when it comes to destiny. People of this sign start appearing in your life. At work, on the street, on social media. In random conversations you overhear by chance. You dream about someone of this sign. And these aren't common dreams. They're vivid, intense dreams that seem more real than reality itself. Sometimes it's someone you know. Sometimes it's a completely new face. But you wake up knowing, feeling that person carries the energy of this specific sign. You see videos about this sign. Read texts about them. Hear songs that speak exactly about the dynamic between you two. As if the universe is shouting, "Wake up, Scorpio, they're coming." And the most disturbing part is you begin to feel an obsession, an inexplicable fixation, a need to understand more about this sign. You, who were always the observer, the one who discovers others' secrets. Now you're being pulled to discover something about someone who hasn't even arrived yet. It's as if something inside you already knows this energy will be crucial, that it will be transformative, that it will change everything you thought you knew about yourself. And then comes the third phase, the most intense of all. The third phase is the magnetic interference. In this phase, they're so energetically close that you feel their presence even without them being physically by your side. You start having thoughts about this sign that you don't control. And for you, Scorpio, who controls even your own thoughts, this is disturbing. Thoughts coming from nowhere in the middle of the day, images, sensations, memories of things that never happened in this life. You feel a magnetic attraction. And it's not like the other attractions you've felt. This one is different. It's stronger. It's visceral. It's inescapable. As if you're pulled by an invisible force. As if there's a thread connecting your soul to theirs. And the more you try to ignore it, the stronger it gets. And when you finally meet someone of this sign, or when this person truly enters your life, something inside you clicks, you simply know. You don't need proof. You don't need confirmation. You feel it in your soul. This isn't just any person. This is the sign. This is destiny knocking on your door so hard you can no longer pretend you don't hear. And now, Scorpio, before I reveal who this sign is, I need you to do something. If so far you felt this video is speaking directly to your soul, if you've recognized these signs, if something inside you got chills while I was speaking, leave a like on this video now, because this like isn't just a gesture. It's you telling the universe, I'm conscious, I'm prepared, I accept, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now, because tomorrow I'll start another sign, and each revelation is a piece of the cosmic puzzle being formed. Also, comment below, I feel the approach. It doesn't matter if part of you still doubts. It doesn't matter if your rational mind is trying to deny it. If something inside you vibrated with these words, comment. Let the universe know you're aware. Now let's get to what really matters. You already know the 3 doors. You already know the 3 phases of approach. Now it's time to understand the collision that's about to happen. Because when this sign finally enters your life, Scorpio, it's not smooth. It's not controlled. It's not something you can manipulate or predict. It's a cosmic explosion. It's a collision of titans, two intense forces meeting. And when this happens, either you create something extraordinary or you destroy each other in the process. And that's exactly why the universe prepared you with these doors and these signs. Because without this preparation, without this gradual awakening, the impact would be too devastating. Even for you who already knows intensity, but now you're conscious. Now you're alert, and now you're about to discover who it is. To understand who the sign is that will change your destiny, you first need to understand something fundamental about yourself, Scorpio. You are water, but not calm water. You are the deep ocean. You are the storm. You are the current that drags everything. You are pure intensity. You are living transformation. You are the very power of death and rebirth walking on earth. That's your essence. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the problem. You've been stuck in this intensity for too long. You're too comfortable in control, too secure in your ability to dominate any situation. And 2026 arrives to end this illusion of control. Because to transform Scorpio, the universe doesn't choose energies you can dominate, doesn't choose energies you can manipulate, doesn't choose what's predictable. The universe chooses your complementary opposite, chooses what challenges you in ways you never imagined, chooses what forces you to grow beyond what you thought possible. And in 2026, 3 specific energetic forces begin to orbit around you. 3 energies that carry exactly what you need, even if it's the last thing you want to admit. The first energy is the one that forces you to release control. It's the energy that won't be dominated, that doesn't fall for your manipulations, that doesn't bend to your intensity. This energy arrives and says, I don't play your game. Either you come real or there's no game. It challenges you to be authentic in a way you've never been before. Because with this energy, your tactics don't work, your strategies fail, your control crumbles, and you hate it at first. Because you're used to always having the advantage, to always being 3 steps ahead, to always knowing exactly how things will unfold. But this energy removes you from that place, and that scares you as much as it fascinates you. Because deep down, Scorpio, you always wanted to find someone you couldn't control, someone strong enough to face you, someone who would force you to be true. And this energy is exactly that. The second energy is even more intense. It's the one that awakens you to lightness. This energy touches something you buried long ago, your capacity to be light, to laugh without hidden agendas, to trust without calculating, to love without fear of being destroyed. Scorpio, you carry so much depth, so much intensity, so much emotional weight that you forgot there's another side of life. There's lightness. There's simple joy. There's the possibility of not turning everything into life or death. This energy teaches you that not everything needs to be intense to be real, that not everything needs to be deep to be meaningful, that you can lower your guard without being destroyed. And yes, this is terrifying for you, because lightness means vulnerability, and vulnerability means risk, and risk means possibility of pain. But this energy shows you there's beauty in that risk, there's freedom in that vulnerability, there's life in that lightness. And when you allow this energy in, you discover a version of yourself you didn't know, a more complete version, more balanced, happier. And now comes the third energy, the most powerful of all. It's the energy that reconnects you with hope. Scorpio, you're cynical. You're realistic to the extreme. You've seen the darkness of human nature so many times you stopped believing in happy endings. You protect your heart so carefully because it's been broken in ways no one sees. Because you feel everything so deeply that each wound leaves scars on your soul. But this third energy arrives to remind you of something you forgot. There's light. There's goodness. There's the possibility of something good happening without being destroyed afterward. This isn't a naive energy. It's not blind hope. It's conscious faith. It's believing despite everything. It's choosing light after deeply knowing darkness. When this energy touches you, something changes in your gaze. Something softens in your expression. Something opens in your chest that's been closed for years. It's as if you finally allow someone to get close without already planning how to defend yourself when the person inevitably disappoints you. And here's what you need to understand. These three energies don't come from different signs. They're not scattered around waiting for you to find them separately. They concentrate in a single sign, a sign that carries all these forces at once: freedom, lightness, optimism, authenticity, hope, adventure. And that's why when this sign crosses your path, the impact is so revolutionary. Because it's not just a person entering your life. It's a complementary opposite force colliding with everything you've built over the years. It's deep water meeting free fire. It's intensity meeting lightness. It's control meeting spontaneity. And from this collision, something extraordinary is born. But before I reveal who it is, you need to understand an ancient prophecy. A prophecy that speaks directly about Scorpio. It says, when the scorpion meets the one who doesn't fear its venom, it will discover it no longer needs to use it. Scorpio, you use your venom as defense, your sharp words, your strategic distancing, your ability to hurt before being hurt. But in 2026, you meet someone who isn't afraid of your venom. Not because this person is immune, but because this person simply doesn't believe you'll use it. This person sees through your armor, looks beyond your defenses, and treats you as if you were already the most evolved version of yourself. And this completely destabilizes you. Because when someone truly sees you, without fear, without judgment, just with genuine curiosity and real interest, you don't know how to react. Your defenses don't work. Your tactics don't make sense. And you're there, exposed, vulnerable, real. And it's terrifying. But it's also liberating. This sign mentioned in the prophecy doesn't wait for you to give up control. It simply acts as if you already have. It appears in your life with a lightness that absurdly contrasts with your intensity. And in that contrast, something magical happens. You realize you can be intense without being heavy, deep without being dark, powerful without being controlling. And when you realize this, Scorpio, everything changes. That future you had predicted, it doesn't exist anymore. Those plans you had carefully calculated need to be rewritten. That version of you that you thought was unchangeable is evolving. Because this sign doesn't come to adapt to your intensity. It comes to show you there's another way to live. A freer way, lighter, happier. And now, yes, Scorpio, the time has come. After everything you've heard, after the doors, after the signs, after the energies, after the prophecy, it's time to reveal. The sign that will change Scorpio's destiny in 2026. The sign that carries all these complementary forces. The sign the universe specifically chose to free you from your own emotional prison. This sign is not Sagittarius, the sign Scorpio underestimates. The sign Scorpio thinks is superficial. The sign Scorpio never took seriously. The sign Scorpio is about to discover is much deeper than ever imagined. Sagittarius. Yes, Scorpio. It's them. And before you roll your eyes thinking this makes no sense, let me explain why it makes all the sense in the world. 2026 is the year of the impossible encounter between you two. And when I say impossible, it's because on the surface you're completely opposite. You are deep water, they are free fire. You are control, they are spontaneity. You plan 10 steps ahead. They live the present moment. You keep secrets. They can't even keep birthday surprises. But here's the secret few understand. Opposites don't attract by chance. Opposites attract because they carry exactly what the other needs to evolve. And Sagittarius carries everything you need. Scorpio, everything you suppressed, everything you buried, everything you denied yourself in the name of control. Scorpio and Sagittarius carry an ancient karmic dynamic, not as obvious as other combinations, but infinitely more transformative. Whenever these two souls truly cross paths, something rare happens. Scorpio learns to fly, and Sagittarius learns to dive. And 2026 creates a unique astrological configuration. A configuration that favors exactly this seemingly impossible encounter. Scorpio's depth aligns with Sagittarius's expansion. And this means one very clear thing. Sagittarius appears to show you there's life beyond control. Sagittarius doesn't arrive by chance. They arrive because you're trapped. Trapped in your own intensity. Trapped in your own shadows. Trapped in your obsessive need to control every detail. And they come to free you, whether you accept it or not. Now you must be wondering, but why Sagittarius? Why precisely the freest and apparently most superficial sign of the zodiac? Because Scorpio governs depth, mystery, the occult, transformation through death. And Sagittarius governs exactly the complement of that. Sagittarius governs expansion, raw truth, philosophy, transformation through wisdom and experience. When these two energies truly collide, three inevitable things happen. First, Scorpio learns to trust life's process. That need to control every detail begins to dissolve. Sagittarius teaches you not everything needs to be planned to work out. Second, Sagittarius awakens in Scorpio the ability to be light without losing depth. You discover you can laugh, have fun, be spontaneous, and still maintain your intense and true essence. Third, both enter a process of mutual expansion. It's not just Scorpio that changes, Sagittarius does too. Because this connection adds depth to their freedom and freedom to your depth. And this doesn't matter if the encounter is romantic, a deep friendship, or even an unexpected confrontation. The impact is the same: revolutionary, liberating, transformative. Scorpio, you begin 2026 feeling that deep restlessness I mentioned before, as if something is missing, as if you're waiting for something without knowing what. This isn't in your head. It's Sagittarius approaching. And the effect begins even before you meet physically. Their energy already starts affecting yours. You begin to feel more restless with your own routine. Start questioning patterns that previously seemed absolute. Feel an inexplicable desire to do something different, to go beyond, to explore, and this scares you. Because Scorpio loves control, and this desire to explore comes precisely from lack of control. Sagittarius doesn't arrive to knock you down, Scorpio. They arrive to show you that you can let go of the reins without losing yourself, that you can trust without being naive, that you can be light without being superficial. But the process does. The process goes against every instinct you have. Because Sagittarius never does anything the way you expect. When Sagittarius enters Scorpio's life, they function as a mirror of light. They show what you hid from yourself for fear of losing control, the genuine joy you suppressed, the spontaneity you killed in the name of strategy, the trust in life you traded for obsessive control, the lightness you sacrificed to maintain power. Sagittarius's energy forces you to question whether all this control really makes you happy, whether all this constant intensity really fulfills you, whether all this dark depth really is who you want to be forever. And this creates the first major impact of the year. Scorpio allows themselves to breathe. It's the beginning of liberation. And it's scary, but it's necessary. Now comes the most fascinating part, the impossible magnetism. What attracts Scorpio and Sagittarius is never logical, never expected, should never work. It's energetic. It's alchemical. It's cosmic. It's a magnetism that defies all explanation. Water and fire, depth and expansion, control and freedom. You look at Sagittarius and feel something that confuses you. It's not just physical attraction, though that's intense too. It's something bigger. It's as if their soul carries something your soul is desperate to experience. As if they have the key to a prison you didn't even know you were living in. And when this magnetism emerges in 2026, it comes with a very clear purpose: to free Scorpio from their own chains, to teach that power doesn't come from control, but from authenticity, to show you can be deep and light at the same time. This encounter brings adventure to your controlled life, brings laughter to your constant intensity, brings hope to your cynicism, brings expansion to your fixation, but it also brings challenges. Because no real transformation is comfortable. No true evolution is easy. No liberation is without pain. Scorpio, 2026 marks the year you enter a portal of expansion, a passage to a freer version of yourself. And Sagittarius is the guide of this portal. They open the door with a laugh, with an adventure, with a life philosophy so different from yours it forces you to question everything. If you stay trapped in control, trying to dominate this energy, you suffer. If you allow yourself to experience freedom, you're reborn in a completely new way. This is the big choice of the year. This is the decision the universe puts before you. And here's a revelation few know. Scorpio and Sagittarius have a connection called alchemical opposites. It's not an opposition that destroys. It's an opposition that creates, like fire that transforms water into steam, elevating it to a higher state. This connection is challenging and liberating at the same time. It makes you feel fear and excitement in equal measures. You fear losing control, but at the same time feel this is exactly the point, that releasing control is the only path to true evolution. This relationship, even if brief, changes Scorpio's life philosophy forever. And in 2026, this alchemical opposite manifests. They arrive and they transform everything. Sagittarius teaches Scorpio lessons no one else could teach. And here are the teachings you absorb during this year. Freedom. Sagittarius shows you that you can be free without being superficial. That lightness isn't lack of depth. It's wisdom of not carrying unnecessary weight. Trust. Sagittarius teaches you to trust life's flow. That not everything needs to be controlled. That sometimes letting go is more powerful than holding on. Joy. Sagittarius rescues in you the capacity to truly laugh, to have fun without hidden agendas, to enjoy the moment without calculating 3 steps ahead. Hope. Sagittarius reconnects you with the possibility that good things can happen without necessarily being destroyed afterward. Expansion. Sagittarius shows you there's an entire world beyond your shadows, that you can explore, experiment, live with intensity but without weight. Transformation happens again. But this time not through the symbolic death you know so well. This time through expansion, through elevation, through rebirth, through freedom. But attention, Scorpio. And this is crucial you understand. Not every Sagittarius stays. Sagittarius appears to free you. But this doesn't mean they'll stay forever imprisoned by your side. In fact, often Sagittarius enters your life for a temporary purpose but eternal in impact. The purpose is to show you that you can fly. And once you learn, they can move on to the next adventure. Sometimes Sagittarius stays, sometimes they leave. But always, always, they leave you freer than you were before. And when Scorpio crosses through 2026 after this encounter, they're not the same anymore. Life changes in 3 main areas. Perspective. Scorpio develops a broader view of life. Less obsessive control, more trust in the process, emotion. Scorpio learns to feel deeply without drowning in their own emotions. To be intense without being heavy. Freedom. Scorpio discovers they can be deep and free at the same time. That intensity and lightness can coexist. Sagittarius doesn't come to destroy your essence. Scorpio. They come to free who you always were beneath all those layers of control and protection. And now, Scorpio, we've reached the end of this revelation. But this isn't an ending. It's a beginning. 2026 won't be an easy year for you. But it will be the year you finally allow yourself to fly while maintaining your depth. The year you discover that control isn't power. Freedom is. If this video touched something deep in you, if you recognize these signs, if something in your soul vibrated with these words, I need you to do something now. Comment below, I choose freedom. This comment isn't just for me. It's for the universe. It's you saying you're ready to release control and trust the process. And if you want me to make the video about which sign will change the destiny of Aries, Leo, Gemini, Cancer, or any other sign in 2026, comment also which one you want to see. Leave your like on this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, because this cosmic journey is just beginning. And always remember, Scorpio, true power isn't in control. It's in the freedom to be who you really are without fear. And Sagittarius was sent to remind you of that.